Hi everyone, it's Mike. Well, this is my week 3 update. I had an RNY Gastric bypass on the March 7th. If anybody didn't know that, well, I know my update's late. I usually have it on Thursdays, but I had an interesting week. Um, I ended up in the hospital, but I'll get to that in a minute. I'm gonna try to start from the beginning. Everything was going good this week. Went to my doctor Monday. Saw him. He said I could go ahead and start soft foods. Um, so Monday afternoon, I ate my first soft foods. It went down good. Felt good to chew because I hadn't chewed in forever. Um, Everything went well that day. Tuesday went okay. I ate 3 times that day. Um, Having to learn to eat again, to slow down and make sure I chew enough. That's important. Believe me, if you don't want to not chew enough, it don't feel good. Then Wednesday came. Wednesday morning, I fixed me an egg with some smoked salmon and a piece of sliced cheese. Um, Ended up being about 4 ounces of food. I got in here and got on my computer and started messing around while I was eating. I think I may have ate too fast, or it could have had something to do with what happened later in the day. But I ate about 2 ounces of the food, and my stomach started hurting a little bit. So I set it down, thinking I'd eaten too fast. About 10 minutes later, I puked it up. I'm like, okay, time to switch over. I went and drank a protein shake instead of finishing eating. Then I went on my walk. I walked 6 miles. Um, Come back from that, everything had gone good. Drinking water. I think I drank 24 ounces of water on my walk. Um, then I ate lunch. Can't remember what it was. It may have been flounder, but I'm not sure. I ate that. Went down fine. No problem. I drank 24 more ounces of water. And then I had some yogurt. Um, it went down. A little pain for some reason with that. I didn't understand why. Um, but it went down. I waited about 30 minutes, drank some more water, and a little while later, I had supper. I had a salmon patty thing I made and some green beans. Um, and it went down fine. I got finished eating it. It was about 9 o'clock when I finished eating. About 9:30, I waited and decided that I wanted some milk to increase my protein for the day. So I started drinking some milk. And I got about 3 ounces down, and my stomach started hurting. Um, just a little bit at first, but it didn't. It wasn't long. It was hurting pretty good, and it hurt all the time. But then it was having big spasms, and it was just miserable. Worst thing I ever felt in my life. Um, I was hoping it would just go away on its own, so I waited about an hour, about 10:30, and then and it was just getting worse and worse, and I was miserable. So I told my dad he had to take me to the emergency room. We get there and started signing in, waiting for him to call me back for the triage. Um, and I'm carrying around a thing just in case I puke, which I ended up doing. I puked up a salmon patty and stuff. Um, Still pain didn't go away after I puked, which I was hoping it would, but it did not. They finally get me back in the back, started giving me some pain medicine. I think I puked again back there a little bit. Pain medicine takes the edge off, but it's still hurting. And they try to give me some contrast to do CT. And I start sipping on my contrast. Well, that didn't go down at all. Every time I took a sip, it seemed like I was puking again. I got about 2 cups down, but I puked it all back up. And they said, well, never mind. You ain't get it down. So stopped drinking it. And finally, I puked one more time, and my pain level went down. I don't know if it was the puking relieved it or the pain medicine, but it helped. They decided to keep me overnight for observation. Um, So I got to a room about 2:30, 2:45 in the morning. Um, I think I went on to sleep because I was tired. Um, I woke up the next morning. Well, they woke me up the next morning. Coming in there for something, I can't remember what. Probably blood pressure and stuff. And I was still feeling okay, no pain hardly. I could tell that it wasn't right, but and they tell me that the CT had come back and it showed um, possible ischemic colon, not colon, bowel. Um, which usually the nurse wouldn't tell you that. They just said, they would wait for the doctor because I am a nurse. She told me that. It kind of worried me. But I was going to wait to see what the doctor said because what the CT thing says and what the doctor actually knows is two different things a lot of times. So I was waiting for the doctor to come in, and well, before the doctor actually showed up to my room, I got a message that I was going to surgery. The doctor was going to see me down there. So we went down to surgery. I called my dad, told him I was going to surgery. Called some other people, told him I was going. Um, went down to surgery about 7:30 yesterday morning. Not yesterday morning, day before yesterday, and had had to wait there for a long time. He was already in surgery with another case by the time I got down there, and I guess it took longer than he thought it would. He finally came out and saw me, told me it was not a ischemic, however you say that word, bowel. It was a stricture in the mesenteric. It's a membrane that goes around your intestines. They have to poke a hole through to bring your intestine up for the Y in the RNY. What happens is they have to poke a hole in it. Well, when this healed, it shrank, causing a blockage. And it was so no food was getting in my pouch and getting past my pouch, but it wasn't getting past that blockage where that was, and it was causing me major pain and not letting alone food to go in. So they had to go in and relieve that, open that back up. It's nothing that the doctor could have prevented. They make that hole a certain size so it doesn't do that, but it does. Sometimes it does it anyway, and they don't want to make it too big because that's where Peterson's hernias take place. They wrap around in that hole and cause a twisting of the bowel. Some of y'all may have heard of Peterson's hernia, some of y'all may not, but that's where it takes place. A lot of times because the bowel moving through there. But he went in. Like I said, I wasn't in surgery for about 30 minutes. I don't know because I had lost track of time by the time I went back. Got put back in my room. A lot of swelling. I still got swelling. One side of my stomach's bigger than the other. Talked to the doctor. He said everything went well. I was going to spend the night in the hospital and probably leave the next day. But when they did the abdominal CT, they saw something all over. They didn't think it was anything, but they wanted to do a liver CT the next morning, which is yesterday morning. And they wanted to read that before I could go home. Got that. Spent the night in the hospital. Some pain from the swelling, but it wasn't as bad as having that JP drain in the first time. And the bed I was in was much better than the first one. I don't know what the difference was, but it was much better. Woke up the next morning. Didn't get much sleep, probably 4 or 5 hours. Coming to wake you up all the time. That's normal in the hospital. Went to CT. They put me on that table. As soon as I got on the table, they called a code stroke, which is anytime somebody comes in the ER or on the floor that they're having signs of stroke, they have to get them in a CT within a certain amount of time to make sure they can, start administering medicine, see if it's a bleed or if it's just a blockage. So they had to get me back off the table. I was not able to sit up. They had to help me up. I couldn't bring myself off that flat table. So that was not any fun at all. To get me back in the wheelchair and get me back in the hallway waiting for them to do that. They take the person in, do that, go back out. put me back on the table, and do the CT, and help me up again and get me back to my room. Doctor comes in. Wasn't my doctor, it was his partner. Came in and saw me, and he said, "Yeah, you probably get to go home if we get the CT hadn't been back. So as soon as they get that back, we'll decide if you can go home." So I had to wait for CT to come back, and then I had to send them to the office and had to have them to look at it and everything. Well, according to the CT, it was hemangioma or something else benign, both benign. Probably just keep an eye on it. Nothing too much worry about. A lot of people have them. As long as it's not causing pain, they usually don't do anything about it. Cat's coming in, sorry. So I had to wait for them, and they finally, it was about 5 o'clock. They come in and told me I'd go home. I was very happy about that. I came home last night. I made a few Facebook posts, but and actually made a video. But by the time by the time I get finished with the video, I was about half asleep, and it just didn't do right. I know I'm not much more awake this morning because I just woke up. But that's what happened to me this week. I'm back on full liquids instead of food again. I'm supposed to see the doctor next week, and he telling me when I can go back to full. Might end up being out of work longer than I wanted to be, but at least it was something simple, just a simple fix, and everything is going good now. A little bit of pain, a little swelling still going on, but and I'm not going to do a weigh-in this week. I have so much swelling going on. My weight's not right. I weigh more than I did before I went to the hospital, and I know it's not out real weight. Cat scratching me on accident. Falling. She's falling. What are you doing? Get down. But everything's going good at the moment. I'm back home. I'm happy to be back home. It'd be nice when I can start walking again any distance. I might try a little bit today, but I don't think I'm going to go my 5 or 6 miles I've been doing. But hope everything's going well with y'all. Sorry for the long video, and sorry for saying so much. I do that too much. But oh well, I will talk to y'all later. Cat, what are you doing? You don't want any attention until I get on the video.